All right, this is Toby.
And this is Sean.
Back is episode 3. We're going to run through some new releases. I was supposed to talk about some other stuff that was supposed to have come out, but there truly is a backlog. So, actually, I was supposed to talk about something that was supposed to be out on December 30th, and here we are on January 11th, and it's not here.
God.
And I think this year is going to get worse. Like, there's some stuff that I've ordered, like the new Napalm Death EP is supposed to get in August. I mean, I don't think, usually they don't even announce stuff when it's
Is it the vinyl? Because I've
out.
heard things like the...
No, and I just want the CD.
Oh, okay.
Like, I don't care about getting the vinyl.
Right.
But, I mean, I just... Anyway, it looks like it's not going to get any better. I'm personally looking at getting a record pressed soon, and I don't know. I mean, it'll probably be there way after, it's available.
So, do you know anything about the whole vinyl record pressing, delay? I heard there was a fire at one of the factories, in Europe or something, and it's really causing, some back order log, some back issue log.
I don't know if there's a fire. I think, they're selling more vinyl. The big labels are getting back catalog pressed up. There's just sales that have increased drastically. I know a friend of mine at Waterloo, for a while things were looking really awful. Not awful for them, but year to year. It's not, I'm sorry, I shouldn't be talking about their business, but things have been picking up, when I talk, he's like, college kids are stocking up their whole back, they want back catalog, everything on vinyl, and, it looks like gangbusters when I'm in there, so, I think it's good, and even I heard CD sales have gone up for the first year since 2004.
Wow, that's really cool.
CDs never dipped in Japan.
Huh.
They were always about the audio quality, and they liked the format. And,
right.
I used to talk shit about CDs, but yeah, as I said,
we all did.
Tonight it's got me singing a different tune these years. Yeah, and I just can't records cost $25 a lot of the time, and it's a matter of how many a year can I buy. You know, at 25, because I'm trying to get CDs. I buy a lot of them. You'll see I buy them used. I keep the stickers on. They're like $3.99 or whatever. And then, but new ones I like to buy in the $10-12 range.
So a brand new CD, would it be like $13.99, and that same LP vinyl would be like $20, $25?
It could be 22. It could be 31.
But it'll always be more expensive.
Sometimes it's 19. I saw something I picked up. If I see a new record for $16, I can't not pick it up. Almost, if it's something I like. I picked up a couple things that I already had on CD because I saw them it break away for $16. I picked up the Incantation album, and man, they had the Red Cross. What's that called? Beyond the Door for some reason $9 sealed. Anyway, okay, so. That was a deal. Anyway, speaking of deals, speaking of bad, I'm not your news source here, but Burke Shelley of Budgie died yesterday. And speaking of CD deals, Budgie stuff's hard to get, but this one you can get. I love these CD sets because it's got all the album art, when you go in there. So it's got Never Turn Your Back on a Friend. All these have kick-ass art, and then In for the Kill, and my favorite, Bandolier. How could you see? It's impossible for me to see that album cover and not immediately want to hear that. And if there was a book based on that, I would read the series. I couldn't wait to get it. What's going on there? There's parrots riding horses, parrot men riding horses on a
Let me see that.
harvest moon. Anyway, that CD set's $20, and you get 3 albums, and you get all the artwork. I mean, it's a
Yeah,
good
it's
deal.
kick-ass.
I like all those CD sets where they have the albums individual with the artwork. Like, because there's some you get deals on, it'd be like $25, but it's got like multiple albums on each CD. But I don't know. I'm a little bit persnickety that way. So if
I don't know much about Budgie. Are those like the first? Are those their first
Oh,
three
okay.
records?
Yeah, Burt Shelley. No, these are their three like most classic records on MCA in the mid '70s. So Budgie did my two favorite. They wrote my Burt Shelley in particular. He was the bass player singer. They switched out. They were from Wales. It seemed like a rotating cast of characters, especially on guitar. But he sang. He had the really high voice before Geddy Lee like that. But Crash Course in Brain Surgery and Bread Fan.
Bread Fan. Metallica cover. That's where I first heard Budgie. Was figuring out that Metallica covered Bread Fan.
Oh, and Motard's "I'm a Criminal." Not a Budgie song.
But Budgie did it.
No.
No?
Here's the deal. Dave wrote that song, and none of us had heard Budgie, but it's a real obvious riff. And then Budgie has a song on, I believe, their first album. It's not on one of these. It's called Guts. Look up Guts by Budgie, because it's the exact same riff. If you don't write this riff at some point, then like you're not trying. And then they get to the part that's like, I mean, every band should have that song.
Right,
at some
exactly.
point. But yeah, no, it was kind of like once I heard Guts by Budgie, I'm like, oh shit. Because that was like the original Motard song, you know, song number one. But yeah, nothing, I mean, there's only 12, 13 chords. Nothing's that original, you know?
That's true.
But I mean, they did a little something different with it, you know? That show I was talking about last week got postponed due to COVID. I was going to go see Sex Pump and...
Where was that at?
Brontosaurus. It was going to be at the Parlor, but it did not happen. Damn. So here's the deal. The new release, I was going to talk about the new releases aren't here. And what did come in was some stuff, an album that I meant to pick up last year, and then at the end of the year it made all these top 10 lists, and I was like, damn, I should have picked that up because it looked cool. And so it came, and it's Green Lung from London, England.
London.
The city that brought you the Rolling Stones and the Who and Iron Maiden comes Green Lung. And look at that artwork.
Is it open? Is it gatefold?
It's a...
CD gatefold.
Oh yeah, so like some Donnie Darko shit in the woods going on here. Like, anyway, when I heard, like, judging from all that, I thought this was like gonna sound like High on Fire, or I thought it was gonna be some stoner rock, and it's totally not that. It's totally 70s worship. I love this record. The more I hear it, the more I like it. What it really reminds me of is one of my favorite bands, Uriah Heep, and it's real. It's got organ on everything. I mean, there's parts that sound like Black Sabbath. There's guitar leads that sound like Queen. When I heard the album, I didn't know if they were going to be dressed in like silk robes or what, if they're going to go whole hog with the prog 70s thing. But no, they're dressed like we are. And
did that disappoint you, or did it make you a little happy?
I don't know. I mean, actually, no. They look like dudes you'd be seeing at the bar, you know. This is so I love Uriah Heep. They have so many albums, and I'm trying to get all of them. And the thing is, the early ones are really easy to get, and the later ones are hard to get because they've got on European labels, and so they're hard to find. and some of them really suck. Like they went through a period in the mid 80s or late 80s where they put out some really god awful fucking albums. But anyway, my 3 favorite bands that I'm always seeing in the bin that I've got doubles of their albums, and it's got to be like if I see any of these records for like $4 or $5 in the bin, I just gotta buy it and give it to a friend. And so it's it's Uriah Heep, Grand Funk Railroad, and Jay Giles Band. Any 70s Jay Giles Band, anything Grand Funk Railroad. Like, and you see this stuff for like $4. You know, it's one of those things like, you shouldn't say that because more people will want it and the price will go up. Like, I've got it, you know? I'm giving copies away. I can't, like, this is the nicest thing I could get for someone for $4.
Right.
You know? I mean, what did you think? You got E Pluribus Funk?
Yeah,
right?
it's great. Yeah, all the way through. It's fucking killer. It's a great record. I really enjoyed it.
I've
Great
got-
recommendation. And we found it at, what's the name of the
Love
record store?
Wheel.
Love Wheel for $4.
Lots of good deals.
Yeah.
Lots of...
Rover Sings the Blues, You Found Me. That one kills. The cover's better than the actual record, but yeah, it's still really good.
But okay, so Green Lung is I liked it. It's got big riffs, big vocals, big leads, long songs, epic. It's not just like Uriah Heep in that the songs have a darker lyrical theme. At times, I gotta say, it might border on sounding like Soundgarden, Bad Motorfinger, you know, like which is,
They wish.
Yeah. Sean's 6 years younger than me, so when he hears that, he's like, yeah! I meant it as a sort of, I mean, I'm not going to diss Soundgarden. That's a good, I had Ultra Mega OK. I on cassette. I used to play that in my car when I was a senior in high
like all that
school.
stuff, yeah.
I mean, you can't really, whatever. I'm not going to start talking about Soundgarden. But
Right.
anyway, yeah, so Sean didn't like Green Lung as much as I did.
Well, and here's the thing. I think that I'm pretty happy that these guys look like this. Because if they dressed like authentic 70s style, like Sabbath looking era motherfuckers, like I might have been a little pissed off just because of it's just the overproduction. I think the overproduction really like kills it for me. I think the songwriting is really great. Everyone's super talented. Joseph Gast on bass, Matt Wiseman on drums, Scott Black on guitar. But to me, okay, and maybe this is because I'm so much younger than you, Toby. But maybe it just sounds, to me, it sounds like fucking Wolfmother meets Audio Slave, you know? And yes, I've listened to Audio Slave and I've listened to Wolfmother.
I'm sorry. I would be apologizing for
And
that. I'm
Bad
sorry.
Motorfinger, too.
No, Bad Motorfinger. You know,
The
fucking
production's just too
Louder
slick.
Than Love is a good album. I've never owned a copy of Bad Motorfinger. I didn't mean to fucking... I'm sure it's awesome.
Can I say something weird about this record?
Yeah, say it.
The first 2 songs sound exactly the same. I don't know what it is. Like, I don't know. And again, if they would have had your 4th song, best song idea to like help rearrange these tracks,
Oh, the
first 2
sequencing's
songs
off.
are the same tempo and they're the same note. They're in the same key of C. So I just anyway.
Yeah,
and that's
Sean-
a drummer telling you that.
Sean's got pitch, which I don't. I could never tell you what key any song's in. Like without, like I'm gonna have to sit there and
You know what I had to
play
do?
every key.
You know what I had to do? I was
Uh-huh.
listening to this at work on my computer, and I had to hum the first and the second song's like major chord, which was C, and then like go to YouTube and I typed in key of C, and then I was like, okay,
Oh,
so that's
wow.
how I learned to
Oh,
say
wow.
it. Because
That's good.
Because I'm a drummer. I don't know. I'm a guy that hangs out with musicians. The third song's also in key of C, and anyway, you've heard the first 3 songs, you've heard the whole record.
The opening track, The Harrowing, sounds like the foreplay part of Foreplay Long Time by Boston, like digga-da-digga-da-da-dong, dong, 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 dong.
But 1,000 times more overproduced.
You can't be more overproduced than Boston.
Well, they try.
Yeah. So Yeah,
Did you listen to Woodland Rights? Sorry.
Woodland. No, I heard a song. There was one song. Okay, so they have a previous album called Woodland Rights that I've heard. On the shuffle, and there was one song where he had a lead that sounded like. The guitar player is like, okay, I'm gonna sound like David Gilmour on this one, and that's kind of a tough sound to emulate. I mean, he's got a couple leads here that sound just like Brian May, But here's the other thing that maybe I started noticing it like on Turbo Negro records in the 90s, and is that like Turbo Negro would do this thing where if they have a part of a song, say, that sounds like ZZ Top, and like before that, like if you're trying to write a song and you've got a part and it's like, this sounds like fucking Mr. Brownstone by Guns N' Roses or whatever, it's like, we got to do something different so everyone doesn't call us out.
Right.
But like they would, if they had a riff that sounded like something, they would go whole hog with it and like, do whatever else ZZ Top did on that part and make it a tribute, which is way more honest, It's just like, yeah, we all love the same shit, or, whatever you're ripping off. And there's a fair degree of, like, tribute playing on here. There's some leads that are, like a Brian May lead. And like I said, I heard a total David Gilmour lead on what was that other album called?
It was called Woodland Rights.
Yeah.
That was their first full-length LP. They put out 4 singles last year. I don't know if all 4 are included on Black Harvest, but... Anyway, but they've been busy with their singles.
Yeah, I liked Leaders of the Blind, Reaper Skies. I'll probably listen to this album more. It's been in my car for like a week. No one else has been rocking out to it, but there's only been like 2 people in my car, and
none of them like Wolfmother or Audio Slave, so that makes sense.
I've never actually sat down with an album of either Wolfmother or Audio Slave, but
well, then you haven't stocked groceries in the morning at Central Market, pal.
So today it made me, since the new shit didn't show up, that made the record made me think of some stuff that's come out that I got recently that seemed in the last couple of years, pandemic years, 2020 and 2021, that it seemed to come and go like a lot of releases without a lot of fanfare. And one of them was 2019. I put it on my year-end list and I never saw it anywhere else. And it's, here we go, Dead Witches. I don't know what that is.
The Final Exorcism.
That's a kick-ass cover.
That is a fucking kick-ass cover. Show them the back cover.
I'm going to take the wrapping off. That's not good for your records, but whatever that sticker said, I wanted to preserve that. Heavy Psych Sounds, limited edition.
Yeah.
Whatever. That is dope.
Yeah. Now show these badass motherfuckers in the back. Okay, they deserve to wear shit like this.
They're both hanging out in the woods.
Yeah, they're in the fucking woods.
We're Druids.
Yeah. The Druids.
I mean, okay.
No one knows who they were.
Greenland,
what they were doing.
Both bands have obviously sat around their houses listening to Black Sabbath, smoking weed while watching Hammer horror movies on, like, with the sound off, like, coming up with ideas for songs,
yes.
Mm-hmm. Which is awesome. I'd like to encourage y'all to do that.
But anyway. Dead Witches actually went to Buffalo Exchange and were like, fuck it. We're tired of dressing like Sean and Toby and everyone else that shows up at Casino El Camino 10 years ago. And we want to look the part. And they do. They show up looking the part and they fucking kill it. Great record. Yeah, really.
So these guys have a different singer on every record, which is too bad because I really like the singer on this record, And I don't know what's happening. I think the drummer from Electric Wizard, this is his band, like his other bands.
Ramses also, and With the Dead.
See, there's a lot of stoner rock bands that I've not listened to, and that would be one of them.
Her name's Virginia Monty.
She's awesome.
She's great. She's really good.
So these songs are like heavy Black Sabbath riffs. Well, that's what I would say. Also, Black Sabbath, on the Black Sabbath tip, I think the singer here sounds like early Ozzy a little bit before Ozzy got like a really full voice, you know?
Right.
But when you listen to the first couple albums, it's kind of a thinner, scarier, more nasal sound, I guess, you know? Anyway, it's not nasal. Anyway, but
Anal.
an anal sound.
An anally voice.
Yeah, I don't know
what you
which one y'all rather look at, but yeah, no, this album was dope.
This dude's gonna fuck you up if you don't listen to this album. This guy, he's like Tom Petty, you know, like, and MC5, and she's just, she's looking great. It's a great record. They're looking the role, and it's just solid.
I didn't have it till recently because it was an import. Like the record they put out since then, there's another singer on it, and it's a split single, and it costs a lot to get here, so I don't have it. It's once again a matter of like, I'm constantly thinking of how many records can I get in a year, you know? And if I start paying for import singles, as cool as they are, like, so eventually I saw this available for $17 and I got it. That's
a bargain.
It's
for
a
this
bargain.
record.
Yeah.
It's a total steal.
With no postage. So I had to pick that up, even though I have this on CD as well. Oh, and it has kick-ass vinyl.
Yeah, it's great splatter vinyl.
Yeah,
If I come over to your house and it's all candle lit and you've got no electricity, I know that you've
not big
all
enough.
out. Wow.
Yeah.
Dude, we should paint this on your wall.
It would pop on the green wall like all the purple stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, what a good cover, huh?
So can I? Okay, so here goes Sean's comparisons. Doom metal, occult rock. Her voice sounds like a more pissed off Brody Dahl. It reminds me of Sleep with a fucking, again, kick-ass female vocalist a la Brody Dahl. And the production is fucking right where it needs to be. It's not overproduced. It's got that first Sleep record type of like sludgy type of sound. The drums are just real cardboardy. Nothing's gated. It's the real deal. So yeah, $17 is a steal for this thing.
Yeah. Maybe they have more, but yeah, it was I love this record. I put it on, and nobody it seemed to come and go with no notice. And both of these bands have never been to North America, as far as I can see. So I hadn't had a chance to go see them. But
well, this came out in 2019, so that probably explains why they didn't tour for this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that'd be awesome if they did.
Okay, so keeping with our British theme, another record my friend Koshka sent me, and I wouldn't have heard it otherwise because it's more obscure. And
this kicks fucking ass.
This is a split album. It came out in 2020, right? By Buff and Cress, right? This it kind of is what it looks like. It's like anarcho-punk, but it's like anarcho space rock punk. Like, I didn't know this genre really existed, and it only makes sense, and it's very British. It's like these bands were made to play at British festivals out in the country where everyone's tripping out in the field or whatever, you know? So this is like both bands are mixing crusty punk music with the psychedelic sounds of like Hawkwind, you know? I mean, it's a cool thing. I imagine these guys living in some weird collective. Here's a picture from now. Cress seems to be the older band. Cress to me, man, it's got sounds like rudimentary Peni meets Gong or something. I mean, it's both of these guys are on a fucking weird trip. I mean, it's very, very British, you know, it's crass, you know, but also Pink Fairies, you know. I mean, I think this stuff, I would love to go to some festival out in the field and see this at 5 a.m. It's just kind of how I imagine it, you know?
Fuck yeah.
So
Tripping your balls off. Rolling, too.
I don't have much mind left, so, you know, I think I got enough of that early on in life. Anyway.
But that would still be fun. I would go to that field with you at 5 a.m. to see these guys. Any fucking night. Even if it was a work day.
Yeah.
I would participate. Because they're that good.
Yeah, so yeah, there's okay, now Buff has like a song that I was like, now this is a Killing Joke cover for real, and then it's not, you know, so they've kind of got that thing going on. Anyway, I got this record. My friend, I sent a friend some local records, and she lives in Denver, and this record store there, Chain Reaction, put out the North American pressing of this album, and I wouldn't have had it otherwise. So if they still have it, which they probably, I don't know. I mean, maybe there's a huge cult audience for this, but I'd never heard of it, and I've never talked to anyone who has this, but it's not, I don't really run with the big crusty crowd, or, you know, what is this crowd? The psychedelic crusty
I don't
crowd?
know, and it was so hard to fucking like try to find something to compare it to, but it's in a genre all its own, which is refreshing, because when I listen to this, like, of course me always trying to like draw conclusions based on other bands when I hear it, but I was like so fucking pleasantly surprised to hear this. I felt like I had just like gotten a brand new record from my buddy Noble when he was an Ebullition, you know, distributor, and it was just his newest whatever. I've never fucking heard of him, but like, what a breath of fresh air. Like, it's just super solid, and like these two bands complement the fuck out of each other. Like, to have a split LP like this, but if I could draw conclusions, if I could make comparisons, this would be like Iconochrist meets Subhumans meets fucking like blue collar English Citizen Fishy, The Damned, Phasmagoria somewhere thrown in there. Like it's really just insane collaboration of like sounds and genres, but you'd have to hear it to believe it, and it's fucking proof is in the wax. It's great. It's really great. Yeah.
And Cress must
really
be like anti-internet, because I can't find much of their stuff on. And they seem like the older band. Like some of these songs, and they might be down with like the Psychic TV kind of vibe, because like some of the, well, no, it's spelled with an OF there. You know how like they would have OV instead of OF? When I see this song, The Barred Gates of Reality, it would be OV, you know, like Psychic TV.
But they're still using like the fucking exploited font here, you know, like it's and every
like
every crust punk record
this
will have
live
this type of
picture
font.
seems to be in a squat, like there's a guy in a Doom shirt with dreads, and I mean it looks like a stinky scene, you know. Like there's plenty. I played some shows at the Blue Flamingo that I felt like I was in a sweaty washing machine, and there'd be like people outside looking through the window, and I knew like if this wasn't my gig, I would be outside that window looking in, like enjoying the fresh air, because okay, maybe I'm a sissy, but there's been good shows that I've missed, like the Spits playing in a basement room that's like 12 by 12, but it's like 110 degrees in there, you know, like, and you know 70 people want to see it or whatever. It's just like, I mean, that's, you know, pre-COVID. Now, like when I say that, everyone's like, ah!
Oh my god.
That wasn't the issue. It was just not breathing and getting everyone's sweat on you.
The first Los Crudos show they ever played in Austin was held at a house somewhere over off
there on the east side.
On the east side, and that was fucking packed to the gills and like super sweaty and amazing too.
There was this dude at that show, this crusty dude kept coming up to me, and he kept asking people not to, he's like, can y'all not slam dance? I'm not wearing shoes. My shoes are on the other side of the room, and you know you're gonna hurt my feet. You know.
Yeah. All 80 people, stop.
The
crusty punk's feet are gonna get abused. But no, they fucking slam danced their asses off, man. That was a crazy fucking show. People were going nuts. And there was I remember there was a staircase that went down in that house right as you walked in the front door, and at one point it got so out of hand that like someone got flipped over the railing and like was like falling down the stairs. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. Whoever that was, please leave a comment. I hope you're okay.
Who hosted that? Oh, yeah.
The person that fell down the stairs. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that was good. They were, yeah. I mean, we wound up having like a weird feud with them, but I mean...
Motards had a feud with Los Crudos?
Yeah.
What? I don't know about this. We don't have to talk about this. I don't know about a lot of feuds. I was pretty unaware of a lot of things back then. You're 6 years older, Toby.
Yeah, I'm so old and wise.
Yeah. Anyway, we won't talk about feuds, but
no, those guys are. I don't want to put myself on whatever. Like it was back in the day. I had stupid whatever. I don't hold any grudges from the '90s because like the original. Why would you? Like I think everyone should have like a expiration date on grudges. It should probably just be like a handful of years.
I can't believe those people are still upset at me when I was at the height of my like cocaine addiction and my, drunken, crazy boozing days. Like, fuck, dude. Whatever.
There's people who still mad at you?
No.
Yeah, okay.
Of course we were all in a different state of mind at that point,
Yeah, no, there's people I've offended in the 90s that still don't. I mean, not a whole lot, but whatever. I mean, yeah, recovering edgelord. You know. I mean,
if you're listening, call in. We're gonna mend this relationship tonight. You know what? You know what's a damn shame is that the North Door got shut down because that was one of the first places I went to when Ben Burrito was. I think he was booking shows for that.
Uh-huh.
When I first got back to town in 2019, where I felt that vibe of like a really, and it wasn't the main stage that the show was at, it was the side stage, which was really small, and they had a tiny little ass bar, but there were like fucking like 150 people crammed into this little space, and for whatever reason, it's not, well maybe it is downstairs, I don't know, but it was like an 8-foot ceiling, so really low, and Black Mercy played with Fuck Work, and it was a lot of fun, and I really felt that there, and unfortunately that was like one of the last shows that I saw before COVID went rampant. So
I feel bad that I didn't go to more shows there because the only shows I saw there were on the big stage, and I didn't know there was another stage.
Yeah.
And I probably should have played there when I didn't want to go there and play to a room that looks empty unless you have like 200-300 people there, and then bring 30 or whatever at that point.
It was a cool little side stage. I'd never seen a show at the front stage, but I remember walking in the main door and like no one being there, and I was like, what the I thought there was a show here tonight, and then like over to the side there was like this little hidden gem of a side punk room, with a no stage actually. I think it was just a floor. So what's the biggest non-audience the Motards ever played to? Did you ever get booked at a giant venue and just no one showed up, or any band for that matter? Can you think of anything?
Well, I'm sure that's I played plenty of empty venues.
All right, next question. What's the largest venue you've played with lots of people?
The most people I ever played to was probably like 1,200 people at the Sound Exchange anniversary with Poison 13 and back of Sound Exchange in 1999.
God damn, that many people showed up? That's crazy.
I don't know. I'm really bad at judging numbers, but the alley and the whole back lot was packed. That's on. You can look that up. I mean, you can it kind of sweeps around. That was supposed to be recorded for like a live album, and the recording got botched. The video's still there, but I mean, better remembered. There, I mean, it was just fun to be there. I remember at one point I got hit. There was so much beer flying at me that I got hit with a full beer, like that big, behind my head from the back of the stage. So like I'm playing up front, and it's like, bam, beer explodes. And it's like, you expect to get it from the front of the stage. Right. But no, I really wasn't expecting, because there was a keg in back of the stage. So just beer.
I would have thrown the keg at you.
When we went at the first Rip-Off Rumble, and we played with the Crying Out Louds and the Stipsies, and it was mind-blowing for me because in San Francisco, people were buying beers at, is that not Kilowatt? What was that, Kilowatt? Anyway, for like $4.75 and taking them straight up front and throwing them at us, you know? I was just like, and I mean, you used to have to go over your equipment with like a Q-tip and alcohol after playing the Flamingo.
I currently tell Dave, now that I'm old, that I can't believe how long my cymbals and my drum set are lasting. And I've only had my new set for 2 years, but like compare this to every show that we ever played in 1990 to like whenever, 2000, early 2000s, where like, you know, 5 out of 10 shows there's gonna be beer thrown around, and you know, so yeah, my cymbals suffered a lot back in the day due to rust and cracking, and me not wiping them off either. So
I've got the same bass I had from like maybe like 95, 94 on, and if I have to take it into a shop to get repairs on, it's like bringing a beat kit into CPS. Like the look I get from those guys is just awful. And I mean,
what have you done to
and every
it?
time I walk in, it's like before you, they give me this look, and I'm like, before you say anything, this happened in the 90s, and they don't give a shit. They're just like, you're a dick.
They're advocates for the health of your bass, you know? Like, you asshole. 1,200 people behind Sound Exchange, motherfucker.
Guitar Protective Services.
That'd be the best guitar fucking repair shop name. Guitar Protective Services. Holy shit. Trademark. Wow.
GPS. I think someone trademarked GPS already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought cell phone repair, CPR, was a clever, you know, business name, but man, that takes the cake.
I got a few show ideas, and one of them is like going around to places that used to be clubs, you know, kind of like on location, and maybe going there with someone who used to play there a lot or played their first gig there, you know.
Like the full band?
No,
or just someone from the...
No, just someone,
yeah.
You know, or, you know, just, I don't, yeah, it wouldn't be, I'm not trying to do in-depth band interviews. I just kind of like site locations, you know, like you could also, I mean, go around to, well, I have a few ideas on like, look, there's a lot of historic locations around Austin that used to be something that are currently like a CVS or whatever they are now, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So
that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Some I don't even know where the fuck they're at, you know. Like I couldn't even tell you where Liberty Lunch. I mean, I know the old direction,
really,
but like it doesn't look like. I mean, it's nothing what it used to look like. You know, that whole area is just completely made over now.
Okay, someone old timer can help me with this. There's I was given wrong information on where the Skyline Club was on North Lamar. It's like up near Rumburg.
Is that where Hank Williams played his last show?
Hank Williams played his last show. Elvis played there, and later on, Black Flag, Misfits, Minor Threat all played there. It was open forever. And like people say, oh, it's a CVS, it's a parking lot, whatever. I think it's a parking lot of a CVS. Mm-hmm. Anyway, if someone could give me an address on that, that would be, I mean, a great place to start, because that might be one of the most historic locations.
Wow.
You know, I think.
It's weird because I haven't heard a lot of like talk or write-ups of the Skyline Club. I mean, you hear a lot about like Raoul's, and you hear a lot about, you know, the Ritz or whatever, but the Ritz wasn't really that old. Well, I guess. Yeah, the Ritz had shows, and then it just pretty much fully became a bar. But Skyline.
Well, they closed down at different. Those old theater clubs will like close down and reopen, you know, because it's such a good venue, you know, good space, you know.
Yeah, Skyline Club.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, there's a few. So yeah, so we've got some things coming up that'll be fun. I would eventually. If someone, I'd like to, no one wants to see this series, but I would like to I'd like to see a series of stories because I hear the same story over and over and over with local Austin bands. I want to hear about my last show at South by Southwest. Our band's last show was at South by Southwest. playing to none of our friends. You know, like it was just like the most anticlimactic final show for a band you could have. Like there's like a handful of people from out of town. This got booked 8 months ahead of time. We had a few practices. We'd kind of split up, but this was booked and we got back together. Like how many, you know, since like South by Southwest is supposed to be all about bands taking off, like how many fizzled out there? Because I know it was a bunch. So if you've got a band that played it doesn't have to be a depressing last show, but it probably was, you know. And it was at South by Southwest. Let me know, because it's a common story, you know. And of course, South by Southwest and the Chronicle and the Austin Music Mafia. I mean, that's not the kind of thing they want to promote, but that's a real deal occurrence that's happened to a lot of people.
I think that you know, a common occurrence with just South by Southwest right out of the gate was like getting excited about playing these shows and these, you know, like these. What are they called when the label has their own
label showcase?
Showcase, yeah. But none of your friends could even get in. Like you'd have to sneak in half of them, or like people couldn't afford wristbands. So it was always an issue just having like a handful of friends just even show up that weren't in the bands that you were even playing with. So you know, yeah, that's a constant. That was an early constant theme. Okay,
so I'm gonna flex on old guy story. Back in the early, when it first started up, it wasn't nearly as organized, and it was at a handful of clubs, like mostly on 6th Street. Like there'd be some shows at Liberty Lunch, but it was mostly like 12 venues on 6th Street, and it'd be staffed by people who didn't really know the venue, you know, and it wasn't that well organized. And I remember I had two friends, Vance and Jason from North Carolina, and they wanted to go see Flat Duo Jets. And we totally just walked in the back door of the Ritz to see it. It was like they didn't know there was a back door. Like, how much is it? You gotta have a band or else it's, you know, $15. It's like 1991.
Yeah, fuck that.
And I was like, we just like, let's try the back door, and just like walked right in, you know? And Flat Duo Jets were awesome. And then
did you walk out the front door after it was over and wave a goodbye to the door?
Oh,
God.
That's awesome. Yeah, well, the night is such an epic night. So then we walked back. I lived really close to here. I lived on 26th and San Jacinto, Dinky and San Jacinto, and walked back, and they were still building the garage in back of the Capitol, like the whole back part of the Capitol, which was dug out of the ground, and there were 3 cranes. And we climbed down, and this is a really stupid idea, y'all, but we climbed down into the work site, and each one of us got on one of those cranes, and we were like waving, like it was like 2:30 in the morning, and like we were blowing back and forth in the breeze, you know, and it was so cool.
Yeah.
You know, anyway, they had these ladders that went up, a little staircase or whatever it was.
That sounds terrifying.
Terrifyingly reckless, and if your kid did this, you would freak out. Yeah, and then we lived at this group punk rock house where we had a competition called Punk Rocker of the Month, which you would try to get punk rock points by doing really stupid, reckless shit, you know?
Send in your videos. Punk Rocker of the Month, please.
I'm not going out for Punk Rocker of the Month. But, so we won that month because, I mean, I walk around there now, but we actually went into the stadium and took a high jump pit. Like, it was like 8 feet by 6 feet, you know, and carried it home, threw it over the fence, carried it home. We would take, there were like shade trees, and we would like run it to the shade tree over here. It was at night because there were lights on campus, and we, you know, just lived a few blocks away. Wow. And then we'd have these parties where like people would be jumping off the roof. We lived on Park Place over there onto the high jump pit. You know, we had it. It was just
that's punk as fuck, dude. That is punk as fuck.
Yeah.
That's the punkest shit I've ever heard. You know, like fuck organized sports in college. Yeah, that's great.
They've secured that stadium. Sorry, I walk around UT constantly and sorry.
Sorry, younger crowd trying to get punk
You
rock
will
points.
never get in there now. I walk around that state. There's no. It's
like
Fort
rock
Knox.
iron.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're not gonna get in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were on the field running around. We used to party in Rice Stadium in Houston when I was a teenager.
Wow.
You could just walk through the fence. There was the gate. I mean, it had a chain around it, but you could just shimmy through sideways and you'd go on the field. You could go up to the top. It holds 70,000 people.
My
That was
God.
like our party spot for when I was a freshman in high school.
That's
anyway,
awesome.
yeah, great stories. Anyway, so we should be back on. There's some cool stuff that's supposed to be coming out.
What's your so what's up next? What are you expecting to come for the next episode?
Elvis Costello's got a new album coming out, and Voivod's got an album coming out, and there's a few things. There's more. Oh, you know what's awesome is Corpse Grinder, George Corpse Grinder Fisher from Cannibal Corpse has a solo album coming
Wow.
out, and
Fuck
the song there's a song called Acid Vat that's on. I'm not sure why these aren't Cannibal Corpse songs. It's not like he did an outlaw country album or something. It's death metal all the way. Maybe it's a little more. Not as technical as Cannibal Corpse, but I mean, this could wind up like Rod Stewart and the Faces, where it's like they just tour together, but Rod Stewart was the headliner.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, sooner or later there's going to be a top 40 death metal song. Yeah, I mean, there already kind of is with those screamo bands. They had that whiny screamo kind of.
Like
Attack.
Well,
yeah,
Park
Linkin
shit.
Park. Yeah,
Papa Roach and stuff.
Uh-huh.
That stuff hasn't really materialized too much or come back into. Yeah, but yeah. Let's hope it doesn't rear its ugly head again. That'd be great if there was some death metal that made it into the top 40, like pure death metal, or grindcore.
It does in Finland. Like if you look at like the top of the
That makes
charts,
sense.
it's all in some of those countries,
Right.
in Northern Europe,
Like
yeah.
black metal too, like maybe, or yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, when I look at the charts now, I can't look at Billboard because if any, maybe a couple things I put on my end of the year chart, like scratch the top 200. I mean, like the well, of course, Lady Gaga and Tony Bennett.
Right.
But, they're not even in the ballpark. And even the bands that I think are established that, are on their 18th album, like take Melvins or Napalm Death or whoever.
Still nowhere
like
near
they
the top
make
100.
the Heat Seekers chart, which I don't even know how can you be a heat seeker? Like you're.
What does that even mean? Heat seekers.
Heat
I don't
Seekers.
understand.
Yeah, that sounds like new bands or something. Yeah.
Well,
no.
I was surprised. Autopsy was like number 4 on the U.S. Billboard. I'm kidding.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that was in Finland 20 years ago. Heat
But-
seekers. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the charts are like wrestling belts, like they make up different, I'm the TV champ, I'm the...
On the Intercontinental Channel.
All right, we're going to play the song.
I'm the Heat Seeker champ. That really needs to be a belt. Yeah, we're going to rock out with the outro song again.
All right, thanks for watching us. We'll see you soon. Sooner than later. You got your stuff on? I hope y'all didn't see my butt crack right there.
They did.
Yeah.
And that's the only reason they're going to see it soon.
Everyone eventually sees that. Signal the crack.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna turn this on. Is that a pig? Oh, you gotta turn. You got it? Oh, you're up here.
You got a pick?
No, I'll
Right
put it
down
on
the top.
fingers. Here we go.
We'll get this shit together.
Alright, you ready?